10 years from today, you will still wake up on a random Tuesday. The question is simple. Will your alarm clock own you? Or will your money quietly cover your life while you decide what you want to do? Most financial videos start with hype. Retire fast with this one trick. Then they hide the hard part behind vague words like invest and be consistent. Today we're doing the opposite. We're going to put the number on the table early, so you can decide if you want this badly enough to build it. Here's the contrast most people avoid. The traditional plan is comfortable, but slow. The 10-year plan is faster, but intense. You don't get to choose easy and fast. You only choose what kind of hard you can live with. Retirement isn't an age, it's a status. Retirement is not turning 65. Retirement is the day your assets can pay your bills without your job. That's it. No special title, no perfect timing, just a math relationship. So let's start with the thing that actually matters. Your spending. Pick a realistic monthly number, not a fantasy one. For this example, let's say you need $3,000 per month to live a normal life. Housing, food, transport, bills, and a little breathing room. That's $36,000 per year. Now we need a rule that turns yearly spending into a target portfolio. A common benchmark is the 4% guideline, which says a diversified portfolio can often support withdrawals around 4% per year over long periods. The quick version is the rule of 25. Annual expenses times 25. $36,000 times 25 equals $900,000. That is your first freedom number. If you built a $900,000 portfolio, you're not guaranteed a perfect life, but you are much closer to owning your schedule. The 10-year shock and why it's not the whole story. Now for the part that makes people exit the video. If you start from zero and you want $900,000 in 10 years, you likely need to invest roughly $4,000 to $5,000 per month, depending on returns. Read that again. $4,000 to $5,000 every month. If that number feels impossible, good. It means you're seeing the truth instead of being sold comfort. Most people never retire early because they never let the math offend them long enough to make a new plan. But here's the key. That monthly number is not a verdict. It's a signal. It tells you what must change. And you have more control than you think because you can move 3 levers. The 3 levers that change everything. Lever 1 is expenses. Spend less, and your freedom number drops fast. Every $100 per month you cut is about $30,000 less you need in your portfolio using the rule of 25. That's why rent, car payments, and recurring bills matter more than skipping coffee once. Lever 2 is income. Saving is a gap. Income minus expenses. If the gap is small, the plan is slow. If the gap gets bigger, the plan accelerates. Income growth is not a personality trait. It's a strategy. Better skills, better roles, better negotiation, or a side income that's boring but reliable. Lever 3 is returns. Returns can help, but they can also wreck you if you chase them recklessly. The goal isn't to gamble, it's to build a diversified engine you can stick with through ugly markets. In the next section, I'll show you how to pull these levers in a practical order, how to avoid the most common 10-year traps, and how to turn this from a motivational idea into a system that runs on autopilot. And if you're thinking, I can't invest $4,000 a month, you're not alone. That's why 10-year plans usually start with a 2-year rebuild phase. Cut the biggest fixed costs, then grow the paycheck. A simple example, if you raise household income by $2,000 a month and cut $1,000 of expenses, you've created $3,000 of investing power without winning the lottery. That's the game. Redesign the gap, then automate it. Once the gap exists, the math stops feeling like a lecture and starts feeling like a map. The system that makes 10 years possible. In Section 1, you got the target and you felt the shock of the monthly number. Now we turn that shock into a step-by-step plan. This is where most videos get vague. We will not. The goal is to build a machine that works even when your motivation disappears. Here is the key contrast. The slow plan says, save what is left after life. The fast plan says, pay for freedom first, then build life around what remains. One is accidental. One is designed. Protect the base before you chase returns. If you are carrying high interest debt, you are trying to grow wealth while bleeding it. So start with an order that keeps you in the game. 1. Stop the leak. Eliminate credit card debt and other high interest balances. 2. Build a starter cash buffer for small surprises. 3. If you have an employer match, capture it. That is a guaranteed return. This is not boring housekeeping. It is what prevents a broken tire, a medical bill, or a job gap from forcing you to sell investments at the worst time. The 2-year rebuild that creates the monthly gap, most people cannot invest $4,000 a month today. That is why real 10-year stories usually start with a rebuild phase. Your job in this phase is simple. Widen the gap between what you earn and what you spend. First, attack fixed costs. Housing and vehicles are the big levers. A cheaper place, a roommate, moving closer to work, or delaying a car upgrade can free up more money than 100 small budget tricks. Second, treat income like a skill project. Pick one track that the market pays for and commit for 12 months. Sales, trades, analytics, design, project management, and technical support can all scale if you take them seriously. Then do the thing that actually moves your pay, negotiate, switch teams, or change companies. If your day job is capped, add a side income that is predictable, not glamorous. Services beat hype because effort turns into cash. A rule that works: every raise gets split, half to investing, half to your life. That lets you stay sane while still accelerating. Build an investing policy, not a mood. Once the gap exists, automation is the secret weapon. Decide 3 things in advance: how much goes out each payday, what it buys, and when you rebalance. Make it boring on purpose. Use diversified, low-cost funds if that fits your strategy. Avoid jumping in and out based on news. The market will drop in a 10-year window. When it does, the plan is not to panic, pause, or wait for clarity. The plan is to keep buying because consistency is what turns time into ownership. 2 quick examples. Jordan spends $3,000 a month and can invest $700. Jordan is not ready for a 10-year sprint yet, so Jordan runs a 2-year rebuild. Cut $500, add $1,000, and invests $2,200. Then Jordan increases contributions by $200 with every pay increase. Sam and Alex spend $2,400 and invest $1,500 as a couple. They keep spending lean, so their target is lower. They do not need perfect returns. They need a decade of steady, automated action. The scoreboard. To stay consistent for 10 years, you need a scoreboard. Once a month, record 4 numbers: how much you spent, how much you invested, your invested balance, and 1 skill metric that predicts future income, like hours of study or sales calls. The goal is not perfection. The goal is direction. If spending drifts up, you correct it. If income stalls, you add a new move. If you want to start today, hit like, subscribe, and comment your monthly spending number. I will reply with your first lever: cut, earn, or optimize. Then set 1 automatic transfer right now. Make it small if you must, but make it automatic.